Born Klaus Karl Kinski on October 18, 1926, in Sopot, Free City of Danzig, now Sopot, Poland. Klaus Kinski's life was a tempest of, unparalleled talent, self-destruction, and profound darkness. His childhood, as recounted in his controversial autobiography, was one of poverty and conflict, marked by a volatile relationship with his father and an early stint as a prisoner of war during World War II, an experience that would forever shadow his psyche. After the war, he found refuge in acting, adopting the stage name Kinski. He began his career in the theater, not as a traditional actor, but as a solo performer, reciting dramatic monologues from works like Dostoevsky's The Grand Inquisitor. These performances were legendary for their intensity, often walking a razor's edge between brilliance and outright madness, a preview of the explosive energy he would bring to the screen. For years, he was a prolific but largely unrecognized character actor in German cinema, appearing in over 50 films throughout the 1950s and 60s, often playing villains or eccentric figures. He was known throughout the industry for his volcanic temper, his extreme demands, and his unpredictable behavior on set, which many directors found impossible to manage. He was an actor waiting for a director who could channel his chaos. That director was Werner Herzog. Their collaboration, one of the most explosive and symbiotic in film history, began with Aguirre, The Wrath of God, back in 1972. As the delusional power-mad conquistador Lope de Aguirre, Kinski delivered a performance of such terrifying, hypnotic intensity that it, honestly, transcended acting. It was more like a possession. Herzog famously stated that filming was like staring into madness itself. This began a cycle of 5 films with Herzog that would define both of their careers. In Nosferatu the Vampire, released in 1979, Kinski's Count Orlok was not a monster of horror, but a profoundly sad and lonely creature, bringing a shocking pathos to the role. In Fitzcarraldo, in 1982, he was the obsessed dreamer, a mirror of Herzog's own manic determination, a performance forged in the literal hell of the Amazon rainforest. The stories of his rages on set, including firing a gun at extras and Herzog threatening to murder him, are, the stuff of cinematic legend. In Nosferatu the Vampire, 1979, Kinski's Count Orlok was not a monster of horror, but a profoundly sad and lonely creature, bringing a shocking pathos to the role. In Fitzcarraldo from 1982, he was the obsessed dreamer, a mirror of Herzog's own manic determination, a performance forged in the literal hell of the Amazon rainforest. The stories of his rages on set, including firing a gun at extras and Herzog threatening to murder him, are honestly the stuff of cinematic legend. His personal life was as turbulent as his profession. He was married 3 times and had 3 children, including actress Nastassja Kinski. His relationships were often strained and tumultuous, further complicated by the publication of his 1988 autobiography, All I Need Is Love, in which he made shocking and disputed claims about his early life and family, leading his daughter Paula to sue him for defamation. Despite his reputation, or perhaps because of it, he worked relentlessly. Beyond his work with Herzog, he appeared in over 130 films, including Mario Bava's gothic horror classic Black Sabbath from 1963, the spaghetti western For a Few Dollars More in 1965, and the controversial Venom in 1981. He was a force that could not be contained. Klaus Kinski died suddenly on November 23, 1991, of a heart attack. His death, like his life, was dramatic. Reports stated he was found at the foot of his bed, clutching a suitcase as if ready to flee. He left behind a body of work that is as mesmerizing as it is disturbing. He was not merely an actor, he was a phenomenon, a hurricane of talent and torment that could only be captured on film by those brave enough to stand in his path. Now, some curiosities. He claimed to have shared a prison cell with future French President François Mitterrand during World War II, a story historians have largely debunked. For his role as the vampire in Nosferatu, he spent hours each day in makeup, and the contact lenses he wore were so painful he could only keep them in for short periods. He once went on a 24-hour screaming rant on a Berlin stage, a performance that ended with the audience fleeing the theater. His daughter, Nastassja Kinski, was 15 years old when they last spoke. Their relationship was permanently fractured. Director Werner Herzog made an entire documentary, My Best Fiend, in 1999, about their tortured and creative relationship. Klaus Kinski was the embodiment of cinematic madness, a brilliant, terrifying, and utterly unique talent who burned with an intensity that forever scorched the screen. If you were captivated by the chaotic genius of Klaus Kinski, please show your support by giving this video a like and subscribing to The Iconic People, or TIP. We delve into the lives of cinema's most fascinating and complex figures. Let us know in the comments which iconic person we should explore next.